The White House is watching as the Russian foreign minister pays a high-profile visit to Havana.
He was joined by former Cuban President Raul Castro, who made a rare public appearance. Local 10's Hatzel Vela is the only South Florida reporter living and working in Cuba, and he's joining us live now with more on the Russian foreign minister's visit today. Hatzel.
Calvin, Nicole, I can tell you this is the first stop for the Russian foreign minister, Cuba being one of 3 countries he visits in America, likely the most important. As you know, both countries have long-standing ties.
The relationship between Cuba and Russia described as excellent by Cuba's foreign minister Bruno Rodriguez. Nothing surprising here, as both countries have been long-term allies, and that relationship, some argue, may be on the upswing after U.S.-Cuba relations deteriorated.
Отражает заинтересованность в дальнейшем развитии отношений по всем без исключения направлениям.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says contact between both countries have become regular and will continue developing. It was in November of last year, after attending the United Nations General Assembly, that Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel visited Moscow and met with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Cooperation between both countries includes agreements in the energy, industrial, and transportation sectors. It makes sense. The situation in Venezuela was also part of the discussion between Cuba and Russia. Any resolution in the Latin American country, the foreign minister said, should be resolved through peaceful and diplomatic means without foreign interference. Venezuelans, he said, are going through a very difficult situation, but should be masters of their own fate. Wrapping up his visit and public appearance, here is Russia's foreign minister at the newly remodeled Capitol building, once again the headquarters for the National Assembly. With him on the tour, former President Raul Castro, who arguably remains the most powerful man in Cuba, as Secretary of the Communist Party. They unveiled what's called the Statue of the Republic, which was a joint renovation project with Russian and Cuban experts.